How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to another PU battle against HouseOfWolves100. Bet no one haven't seen that one coming. The team I'm using today was featured for the first time in Black and White Battle number 3, posted on August 11th, 2012. Yep, 2 years have passed and almost nothing has changed. Choice specs Magmar, nasty plot Chatot, supporter Happiny, defensive Scold Hex Frillish, home close Dragon Rush Gabite, and choice bandit Sneasel. The only difference from the original team is that Chatot is now a part of a bird machine, equipped with ridiculously powerful Boom Burst, but according to Showdown, that is still not enough to move it to NU. I don't agree with that, but at the same time, it's nice to keep the team unchanged after such a long time. On Mark's side, there is quite balanced team, with Bertic obviously being a major threat, especially if it is Aquajet, but like in a previous battle, just by looking on the team preview, I have a plan how to get around it. Let's see if it worked out. I lead off with Magmar, because despite that it's the best check I have for Bertic, there is really nothing on Mark's team except Audino that can take a Specs Fire Blast, and unlike Chatot, it can deal with Audino too with a Focus Blast. He learns about that on the very first turn, as it nearly one-hit KOs his Dr. Death, but in exchange I take a Surf, which also turns out to be a solid 2-hit KO. Knowing that he needs his Audino for Chatot, he immediately switches to Dustox, and if ever, that was the right moment for a Focus Miss, as it wouldn't do a damn thing anyway. I make a bit reckless play by going straight to Bird Machine rather than Frillish, but it pays off because he goes for a Toxic, and I would much rather have this thing poisoned than my defensive poke. Then I try to set up a nasty plot predicting his switch, because max HP, max special defense, calm nature, none of that matters. Life or Boom Burst is still a 2-hit KO. That's just how OP this move is. He however averts the disaster, for now, by going for a Whirlwind, but of all the things drags out my Magmar, which is now hungry for blood, and simply roasts him with a Fire Blast. Now, the way he has brought his Ghastly tells me that he is probably scarfed, so I switch to my Little Bliss, knowing that just like an actual Blissey, it has no difficulty in taking special hits. I absorb his Shadow Ball and make him switch out, confirming that he is indeed Choice Scarfed. He goes to Bertic, probably to scare me off with a superpower, but gets T-Waved on the switch, which is not what he was expecting, so then he makes another switch and brings his Audino as I go for a Heal Bell, just to get rid of Chatot's poison. He does the same as I bring my Frillish, but then completely baffles me by revealing a Calm Mind as I go for a Will-O-Wisp, and I realize that if I stay in for one more turn, things could get pretty ugly. That is why I switch right to Magmar as he sets up another one, just to bring him to the range where Chatot can finish him off. Thankfully don't miss the Fire Blast, and after a burn damage, Bird Machine gets an easy revenge kill with a Chatter, which I went for just in case he tried switching to Ghastly. He however decides to sack his Audino and get a safe switch to it, but knowing that he is not gonna go for a Shadow Ball, I switch to Frillish to take anything else he has to offer. Instead, he makes a double switch to Bertic predicting my Happiny, and once again has to get out immediately not wanting to take a Will-O-Wisp and goes right back to Ghastly. At this point, I could have just stayed in, knowing that I can take a Shadow Ball no problem and destroy him with a Hex. The only reason why I didn't do that is because his Bertic is still waiting at full health, and as long as it isn't burned, Frillish needs to stay in a good condition. That is why I switched to Sneasel instead, knowing that although not really well, I can take a Shadow Ball and Pursuit Trap him for a guaranteed KO. Now though he gets a chance he's been waiting for, sets up a Swords Dance as I switch back to Frillish, and this is exactly why I switched out just moments ago against Ghastly. Had I stayed in and taken a Shadow Ball, I would have to rely on Will-O-Wisp not missing right now, but at full health, Icicle Crush is only a 3-hit KO, so I can go for a Will-O-Wisp without the risk and then proceed to realize my game plan, because let's face it, Hex followed up by Boom Burst is way too obvious. We are going for a Style Points instead. I switch to Happiny as he sets up another Swords Dance, and then, the moment of truth, go for a counter hoping that he will attack me, but he gets up to +6, which with burn makes it effectively a +2, so I can't be expecting to live a hit at this point. However, Happiny probably wants this kill as much as I do and decides that she is not going down no matter what, leaves an Icicle Crush with 28, and that, my friends, is a Happiny taking down a Bertic. That's what I wanted to see this battle, and I really wouldn't mind losing to a Swordsman's Last Resort Warthog right now, except you know, I still have a Chatot, which according to Pokemon Showdown is still PU. I mean, I can totally see why. Life Orb Boomburst is clearly not powerful enough to be viable in NU. Oh, by the way, that is the game. Good game, Mark. Despite quite unfortunate matchup for you, freely rendered your Warthog useless as well as walled your Bertic throughout the entire battle, and while your Audino set definitely has some potential, Specs Magmar alongside with Chatot prevented it from doing work. If it wasn't for Happy Nikhil, I probably wouldn't upload this battle, but nevertheless, do leave a like and comment if you enjoyed it, and as always, I see you all next time.